What's up, everybody? It's your boy Russ Grant, and you are watching Suburban Nerd. What I do is I pretty much break down the news, tell the news that I think is interesting to me and nerds alike, and I give my opinion, and I'm about to start with it. But today, I'm starting off with some sad news because over the weekend, we lost two great comedians. The first one is Dick Gregory. He was born in 1932. He was one of the first black comedians to cross over to the white audience in the 60s. He was a black activist, and he helped change the perspective of how whites felt about blacks. He was a very funny comedian, and he paved the way in a way. The second comedian that we lost was Jerry Lewis, who was born in 1926. He was one of the greatest comedians to live. For those who don't know who he is, I'm sure he was inspiration for the Elvis Duran in the morning show's Uncle Johnny when he came up with the "Hello Lady" slogan that you hear all the time if you guys, listen to Elvis Duran. Jerry's slogan was, "Hey lady, whoa!" So in case you don't know, I'm pretty sure it's probably inspired by that. You should really Google them, and both of them will be greatly missed. Now on to the nerd rundown, which is news that I think is interesting. You start off with, last week I talked about Disney in the works to make an Obi-Wan movie. Well, it seems that they also have plans to make a Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett, and Yoda movie. And as far as my opinion on that, all I can say is, get that money, son! Because you know what? I don't see any problem with it. Because a lot of people might be thinking that they're milking it and they're just trying to get as much money out of it, out of this whole franchise in this world, and they think it's small. But I say it like this: Disney has not failed so far. They have Marvel and they have Star Wars, and they have been making great movies. I haven't seen a bad one yet. All the Marvel films are pretty good since Disney has taken over. The Force Awakens, the Rogue One, all those movies. Like, I think the only one that I'm kind of iffy on is the Han Solo movie, but it was taken over. Forget about that. But I think it's gonna probably be done better. I think it probably still might end out pretty good. So as far as that go, I can say is, what are y'all complaining about? Y'all watch shows that have spin-offs all the time. Because, personally, I would prefer if they did an Old Republic, because, it's like 1,000 years in the past, whatever, and it doesn't have any of these people, but maybe Yoda might be able to be introduced, because Yoda's really old. I think he's like 900 years old, so he might be at the end of the Old Republic, but that's one way I think they could do it. But y'all people be watching all these spin-offs, y'all be watching all these reality shows, like y'all got Kardashians, you got Khloe and Courtney do whatever the hell they want. You've got the Jersey Shore, and then y'all had a spin-off with Snooki, and nobody complained about it. Everybody's watching all those. So as far as y'all thinking that Disney is trying to milk and all this stuff, shut up. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the nerds aren't watching those shows. But I'm just saying, in the world we live in, spin-offs is what makes that residual money. Because if you had the chance, you definitely would try and make a spin-off of your life. If you were popular, you would try and make a spin-off of your kids. You would try and make a spin-off of your uncle. Hell, you'd be probably make a spin-off of your friends and next-door neighbors if you could get money off of it. So as far as that goes, I say stop it. Let them do what they're going to do, because they haven't failed us yet. Sorry about going off that route, but this next story, I find it, and I kind of like it. So here we go. See if I can do this. You'll understand what I'm talking about at the end of it. Meow. Fox Searchlight has finally set out a Meow release date for the Super Troopers 2 movie. The original Super Troopers is Meow 17 years old. The movie is Meow set to release April 20th, 2018. The original director, Jay Chachendra, with his team Broken Lizard, are ready to helm the sequel. They have now raised $4.4 million in 30 days with the crowdfunding. It's Meow opening against the Rock's Rampage movie, Meow. That was hard, because if y'all have never seen Super Troopers, that was probably one of the funniest scenes in it. So you should really try and check that movie out, because I find it was one of my favorite funny movies of the 2000s. I'm surprised it took this long. Like, I understand crowdfunding finally got it going, but damn, 17 years? This movie should have come out. I heard them talking about making this movie like 5 or I think 10 years ago or something like that. I could have sworn they were already saying that they're in the works to make a Super Troopers 2, and I was already looking forward to it. And now it's damn, I'm old. 17 years, whatever. But I think I'm looking forward to it. Like, for you guys that haven't, it's really a gem. It's like one of those old movies, like Me, Myself, and Irene, or something like that. It's a stoner kind of funny flick, but you ain't even got to be stoned to watch it. It's generally funny. It's raunchy and kind of over the top. It's kind of like those R-rated comedies that everyone loves now, but it's with like state troopers. The first 5 minutes is one of the funniest things in the world, so you guys should really check it out. Now I'm gonna go through the box office weekend for the weekend, starting from the #1 position to what was in 5th place. So, what came out in #1 was The Hitman's Bodyguard at $21.6 million. It's decent. I mean, August really didn't have much to go against, but that did pretty good. Annabelle Creation made $15.5 million. It dropped 56% from the second week to the second weekend, and altogether it's made $65 million, which is good because the budget was pretty low with these Conjuring franchise movies, so that did pretty good. Logan Lucky, it did $8.05 million. Dunkirk, it made $6.7 million with an overall domestic or overall accumulation of $165.5 million in the box office. And then the last 5th place came Nut Job 2. Who gives a nut? That dropped 38.7% in the second weekend, making the $5.11 million. Overall, it made only $17.7 million altogether. So I don't know who was this movie for. I wasn't planning on watching it, so that was pretty. That's pretty much the box office weekend and what actually happened. Like Hitman, I plan on seeing it. I'm not hearing too great of things, but it's got Samuel L. Jackson, it's got Ryan Reynolds. Maybe I'll catch it on a $5 movie day, on Tuesdays or whatever. But that was a rundown for that. And the next story is Samuel L. Jackson finally getting a sequel to his mother effing Shaft movie. It's about damn time. That's my impression of, Samuel Jackson. But, yeah, it's about time. Like, that movie, it was pretty good. It actually had some scenes, like, especially when Samuel Jackson's like, you're in for this or you in for the LD? And the girl's like, yeah, I'm here for the LD. And if y'all don't know what the LD is, look it up, because I ain't about to tell you. But you can kind of figure out what they were talking about when she wanted the LD. So anyways, that movie was pretty good. I liked it. Basically, it was Samuel L. Jackson was the nephew of the original Shaft. And Deadline reports New Line and director Tim Story have chosen Jesse T. Usher to play Sam's son. The original Shaft is going to be coming back in this movie, so is Samuel L. Jackson, and now he's going to be having like a son that I guess they're strange, like they haven't talked for a while, whatever. But I guess he's going to be taking on the helm of the new Shaft. So I'm hoping that this reboot or the sequel to a reboot, which isn't really a reboot because the original Shaft is in it, but I hope it works out. Anything that Sam Jackson is in, I hope it works out because I love this dude. He's a great actor, a lot of charisma, and he inspires me. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that goes, that's all I have to say about that. One of the last things I have is Wonder Woman has crossed the $800 million mark as far as like overall money, which she's pretty much beat all the other originals like Iron Man, Batman, all of them. She's #1 as far as original. She's the biggest amount gained ever from any original movie as far as superheroes go. And she's a superwoman, which, well, she's not Superwoman, she's Wonder Woman, but she's a superhero, but she's a woman. But I don't think that should really mean anything because she's still a superhero. Like when you see the Justice League, she's right up there next to them. They don't have to separate because she's a female. She's a female that kicks everyone's ass, and Gal Gadot showed that in the Wonder Woman movie, and I love that movie too. So, congrats on you guys. You guys deserve it. Finally, sort of sad story, but not really. Inhumans, that's supposed to come out in IMAX and then go on to the ABC channel. It kind of got pulled. It was supposed to be running, I think, 2 weeks or whatever, but it got cut short to only 1 week because IMAX is gonna put that other week in for the It, because it's definitely gonna make more money for the other thing. So as far as that goes, it doesn't really matter to me. Wasn't looking forward to it like that much, but that's the Nerd Rundown. Remember, I'm Wes Grant. If you like, please press the like button down there. Subscribe. I got the Kickstarter, Patreon, Twitter, anything. I'm trying to do better with these videos. I'm about to get some new equipment, so hopefully I'll give you guys better quality. So peace out. See you guys tomorrow in the next update. All right.